Today, we're at the grand opening of a brand new Goodwill, and that means one thing: fresh donations that nobody has picked through yet. This place was packed full of shoppers hoping to find the best items before everyone else. Kyle and I had one goal: fill our carts with as many profitable flips as possible. Just when we thought we were done, they kept pushing out more items while we were in the checkout line, so we had to come back for a round 2. The first round we checked out with 101 items for just under $800. We had so many carts that even a Goodwill employee helped load all of our items into our car, and then we came back for more.
Round 2.
Round 2. Got Eileen Fisher. Viore.
Those are like nice wider leg Viore.
Anyway, gotta get back to shopping. At this point, we were literally shopping till we dropped. We were so hungry, we had to stop. We just finished round 2. We are very tired. They keep pushing out more carts and more racks. Got like 111 items here. That is crazy. So today we're going to show you our best finds and what they'll sell for on eBay. Right after Kyle finishes rearranging his pickles on his burger. All right, so we're back home from shopping. This is the next day. We have a big pile of our bread and butter, like the stuff that's not like anything cool to really talk about. It's just our daily bread and butter. Usually it's stuff that makes about 10-15 bucks profit, sits at about 50% sell-through rate. So it's just like mediocre average stuff. So everything that's on the table is stuff that Kyle, like he thought that they were a bit cooler than the bread and butter. Some of them are like complete home runs, and we're excited to have found them in the thrift store. Others are just some good rock solid stuff that we wanted to share. If you haven't watched previous videos of ours, normally we don't do a lot of like what sold, what we picked up type videos, just because when it comes to thrifting, we basically look at each individual item for what it's worth and what its sell-through rate is, because we want to get items that have a good supply and demand ratio. We don't necessarily just pick up whole brands. There's going to be some hit and misses inside each brand, and also when it comes to different sizes within that brand. Our reselling business operates much on cherry picking within the thrift store. Like if you see us showing some Levi's, don't assume we pick up all Levi's. We only pick up some Levi's in certain sizes. I have a video about the thrift strategy of how we go about it. So if you wanted to learn more about how we do our thrifting for our business, I would highly recommend to go check that out. It just helps us ensure that we're putting in-demand items on our store and then leaving the rest at the thrift store.
I was gonna say examples of bread and butter. Like right on top, I got like buttercloth shirt, like this Brooks Brothers shirt, just a button down Oxford. Got like 3 or 4 of those, like some women's ribcage boot Levi's. I didn't want to make that the entire thing we're showing off. I wanted to show off things that I just think are harder to find in a thrift and just a little bit cooler to look at. This one we'll show off last because it was the best one. First, we got some Miss Me jeans. They're not flat pocket, but they are boot cut. So those were cool, nice dark wash.
When it comes to Miss Me jeans, I love putting keywords in the titles about the different types of pockets. This would be the fleur de lis type pocket. If it's like studded or jeweled or anything, like those keywords do really well in Miss Me jean listings.
And we got another one that was just basic, but it was a flat pocket with the jewels on it, but it's also a boot cut.
We've been getting into blazers. It's a Brooks Brothers tweed blazer. It looks like it's fully lined as well. So it's meant for like a fall winter blazer.
Got some Mother jeans.
This is a brand where it's like, we don't pick up all Mother. We pick up certain styles in Mother.
Next up, we got some Lululemon shorts. Got these new tags. They're the ABC short 7-inch. Got some Lululemon joggers. There's a lot of Lululemon there, and half of it was priced up at $15 a piece, and half of it was like $10 a piece. Another pair of Lululemon joggers. These brown Lululemon joggers. These are kind of like thicker.
Like a canvas.
Yeah. So those were cool.
Gas prices have been crazy lately, and while there's not much we can do about that, there is a way where we can make a little money back each time we fill up. I've used Upside on and off for many years. Anytime I'm stopping by a gas station, I'll usually check the Upside app first to see if there's an offer for me to use. It only takes a few seconds, and I like earning a little bit of cash back for something I was going to be purchasing anyway. It's 100% free, and it's not just for regular gas. I get to use this for the premium gas that I put in my car, and there's also cashback offers for people who need to use diesel. Plus, they even have cashback offers for restaurants, grocery stores, convenience stores, and more. So here's how it works. You open the app, claim your offer, and pay with the card you were going to use anyway. I usually just transfer my cash back straight to my bank account, but you are also able to cash it in for gift cards. And if you already earn rewards through your credit cards or a gas station loyalty program, Upside stacks with those as well. Upside works with over 100,000 locations nationwide. Download the free Upside app and use the promo code CARRY25 to get an extra 25 cents back for every gallon on your first tank of gas. That's 25 cents back for every gallon on your first tank of gas with the promo code CARRY25.
Found some cool pants for, and when I say cool, I mean like cool, the brand with the shield and the mountains, whatever. These are the Radical pants, paid $5 for those. These are cool. When we went back in, we
those
found
aren't
these.
Cool.
These are actually cool.
Yeah.
These are some like wider leg Viore pants that we paid $5 for. And you can't complain getting Viore for $5. Lululemon. These are Lululemon pants, joggers.
A lot of these, you can just look up that circle tag code so you can get like the exact model name for these pants. It helps them sell better if you actually know what you have.
This brand's really unassuming. It was just like a gray pair of pants. It's not Lululemon. There's no markings or anything on the outside at all that tell you what it is. But on the inside pocket, you can see it is Jack Archer, which is a cool brand to find because they always price it low in the thrifts. So like I paid $5 for it, and that's just a really consistent, decent price, decent sell-through item.
It's definitely under the radar.
Got some Peter Millar. This is one of those brands that you definitely do not want to pick up every single Peter Millar. They're the button-up shirts, don't sell for a ton of money. A lot of the polos don't do that well, and a lot of the pants don't do that well. But if you can find the inside style code, this one is right here. It says EV66 on this little line in the middle. That's the style of these pants. That's how people list them, and that's what makes them, this style is more valuable than a lot of other ones. This one is a Crown and Crafted. Style code for this one is the EB51. Usually if you find Peter Millar and it's like a thick cotton pants, it's not usually what people are looking for. People are looking for like polyester, spandex, like the swishy golf pants because it's going to be hot out on the golf course and they want something like this.
Yeah, that's another thing where like with Lululemon pants, if you just put up generic Lululemon pants, no ABC commission or warp stream, none of those keywords going into it, it's going to be harder to sell the Lululemon pants just because people are usually looking for a specific style and fabric. And so I made a video specifically talking about how you can like sell items faster and for more money by using style codes. So I definitely will link that one as well. But with Peter Millar, if you can find the style code, look it up on Google, just type in Peter Millar and then the style code. It'll let you know exactly what type of pants those are, and then you can go comp and research them over on eBay and see how well they do. And then you just remember that style code. So while you're at the thrift store, you can just like take a little peek at the little tag and be like, okay, that's not what I want to pick up. Okay, this one is. So it helps it go faster that way.
Next thing, more Viore. These are Viore joggers. They're cool. They have the inside tag. They're hardly used.
Viore has another one with a good style code. So you can get the exact name of those joggers.
They're almost always on the material tag or underneath the material tag on a little paper tag that is under.
Yeah, I love using style codes.
It helps. It helps with keywords, you know, just being able to fill out. If you're ever making a listing and it just looks like Viore jogger pants, men's large, and you're not adding anything else to it because you don't know what the keywords that Viore is using, then finding the style code and going to the website or seeing what other listings are for Viore that have the same style, it will help you fill out your titles and get good keywords.
We're all about accuracy, efficiency, doing things with intention. We hardly ever just guess on anything. Like, we want to make decisions with facts. So that's why I like having confirmations of like, okay, style code says that this is in fact what this item is, and I have confidence that I can list it as that item and I know exactly what to price it at. I'll know what the demand is and the supply is just because I have all that information. Hi, cat.
Another pair of Viore pants. There's not a lot to say about it that I didn't say about the other Viore. It's different. It's not a jogger. These were cool because these were also $5.
Also cool.
They're also cool. I wonder if I've said that to every single piece.
Yeah, you have.
Okay, well, anyway. This is the something pants.
Renegade?
The Renegade pant.
Yeah, I was just guessing based off
Yeah, Renegade pant. I was debating between bread and butter and putting it in this pile. It's just Polo Ralph Lauren pleated chino pants. Let's see, is this a specific one? The Hammond pant. So it's just pleated Polo Ralph Lauren for $5. Getting to the last few pairs of jeans here. I believe I heard someone say, even though it looks like Kimes Ranch, I've heard people say it's actually pronounced Times. I don't know if that's...
a T?
Yeah, I don't know if that's accurate.
No, I'm sure they said Kimes then. And it just sounded like Times.
This one's the Barney, which is a men's style.
That is a harder to find brand.
This brand, if you find it, it's kind of unassuming. I mean, this one has a nice back patch, but they don't always have that back patch. Usually the way you can tell is from the inside where it'll say like Barney or some other name. Another brand that's sort of unassuming is Origin. It'll have like this stitching that kind of looks like a fake embroidery or like someone did that themselves. It's not the case, but this brand, Origin, does really well. This brand is hard to miss when you are going through women's pants.
That's like a jogger. Is it probably made out of linen?
This one, it feels like it's made out of linen, it's cotton and flax, and elastane, made in the USA. The style is Jameson.
Those are linen for sure.
These are linen, I looked them up, but they are Eileen Fisher. Eileen Fisher wide leg linen pants sells for $35. Then also got some wide leg Spanx. Just wide leg pull on Spanx.
Spanx is another one that has a good style code to always look at.
Yeah, and you got to be really particular with this brand because more Spanx moves slow than fast.
Yeah, typically if it's a cooler looking style, more unique versus just your standard like leggings, they have a better chance, but always just verify. This is a brand you don't come across often.
Is Arc'teryx.
You gotta show the frog.
Is that a frog? That one's cool. That one's great.
Everything's cool.
That one's great. This is a no line, zero liner blazer. You can see through it. So that's a good summer blazer.
Yeah.
It is by J. Crew. It's the J. Crew Ludlow. And second to last, which may be the best item, but could also not be. It's a Peter Millar blazer. So this one is fully lined. Lastly, when we finished, we were in line and I said, I'm just gonna go back through the men's jeans and men's pants and just see if we missed anything. And I'm glad I did because this is, I'm a Jean and Willie. The style is the Willie. Selvage denim. Selvage being like those two red lines that go through it. So if it doesn't look almost exactly like this, it's almost never selvage. But it's nice, dark wash. It hasn't been broken in and worn, because sometimes when you find salvage, the legs are all tore up, like down here, from where they fold them in and wear them. But these are in really nice shape. These should go for about $120 to $140. So I paid $10 for these. And I think that's my favorite thing I picked up at the thrift.
And just to show some of the items I picked up for my small 1 item a day eBay store, that challenge that I'm doing, found these as well. I paid $10 each for each pair of these shoes. We got a pair of Tevas, a pair of Merrell barefoot shoes. These are Adidas Porsche collaboration shoes. Got a TI-83, 84 graphing calculator. These are some caffeine hair and scalp treatments. Got them for $3 each. I'm gonna bundle them up together. Found a TV, Apple TV 4K, and this iPad Pro 3rd generation keyboard. So I'm going to actually record this for my 1 item a day store series. If you want to follow along with that, I highly recommend you check it out. We are currently saving up for a Florida family vacation for this winter by just listing 1 awesome item to my small eBay store a day. And this is like a week's worth of listings right here. So it was a good haul. During the grand opening, a couple of you had also said hi, and it was awesome to be able to meet you and talk about what you found and everything. So it was just awesome to have conversations out in the wild. I also got to meet Jess from Gorgeous. If you want to follow her, she's over on Facebook. It was so fun to meet her in person. So that is everything to share about the grand opening. Fantastic time. One of the best grand openings we have ever had in this area. And there's been lots of thrift stores opening in our area this past year. Tons of them have been opening up. We have another place to add to our route. So things are looking great. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.